What's up, YouTube? It is Kenny with Ready Set Inc. And today we are checking out some of the best art, in my opinion, of what is coming out with the reign of Jafar, the newest set of Disney Lorcana, which is released May 30th, I believe, in your local card stores, and then 2 weeks later it will release in your big stores like Best Buy and Target. And today we are just gonna check out some art that I'm really excited to see. And starting off here, we have uh this is an honorable mention, I guess we could say, is Heads Held High. And the only reason why I'm putting this in here is because us personally got to reveal this card to the world, and so that was very exciting for us. It almost feels like a reward for all the stuff that we have done. I'm not saying we have done things like for the community, like we've built it, but I think it's just really cool to be a part of it and to be acknowledged that, our content is at least good enough that we were recognized by the company. So that is pretty cool there. So we're just gonna throw that in there to start out this video. But if we're gonna move on to the next one, which I think I moved my mouse off of the cursor. Let's see if it goes away. Click on it. There we go. So we're starting off here with Nathaniel Flint, and I believe he is the lore villain in Treasure Planet, and I think this really just captured like how bad this guy is. And you can see here with it being movie art, it also involves the scarab from this the story of Reign of Jafar, and just him crushing it in his bare hands is just really epic. And I'm just really excited to see a card like this. It's just, you know, not your typical Disney happy character. So this guy really shows how serious and scary he is. Uh, Next is Zipper, and I have to say he's from Chippendale. Is it Rescue Rangers? Um, Let me actually just go ahead and check that out real quick. So, well, he's a flying ranger, so he's the Rescue Rangers, right? But he I think this really shows that his size of being small and still meaning something to the story is you can see him there whipping right past some sort of sand monster, which now that I think about it, it actually looks like a palace guard, which we'll see later. The palace guard that is made out of sand, because this set we're seeing characters that are illusions, and I think this the artwork here is super cool, showcasing him, which I think this is his first card in the set or in the Lorcana game card game wide. So I think this is really cool art, and it involves the furthering the rescue rangers that are being within the realm of Lorcana. So this was a cool card. Here we see it's by Ian McDonald, who's done some pretty sick cards. Here we have Radigan, and if you don't know or haven't noticed, is that these legendary cards have some sort of frame break, so they're allowed to reach out to those black borders and the names of their cards. And I think this one out of the set was the most like extra with the gems breaking out the frames and his tail and the necklace sitting by his name. So I think this was a really cool use of breaking outside of that artwork. And I like it. I think Radigan has some pretty decent cards. He might not be a favorite to everyone, but this was a definitely a sick card to see. Here's another legendary, and this showcases the difference with how much that legendaries can break out. Is you can see Stitch's arm is, sort of floating above the blue border there, and you got his ears uh, both touching the outside borders of the card. So if we go back to Radigan, I feel like this really used a lot of space outside of the frame that normal cards are allowed to be in. But this Stitch card is still epic. We've seen him in his jumpsuit before in Lorcana, but I think this one really showed how fierce he is, and it gets down to just he's experiment 66. So this is just straight up alien Stitch, and we all know he's one of the most indestructible beings within these franchises. So that's cool to see him like this. Here we have a dual ink card, and it's action. But I think with the archetype of being an action is they can use a lot more setting and different artwork rather than just focusing on the character. So having Beast and Gaston in this artwork, I think really shows how serious like this is. It looks like Beast maybe caught Gaston either betraying them or spying on them. And with the background of the palace, it just looks super cool here. So, and you guys can see I picked some backgrounds just to add some flair to these cards in our video. But I really like the sun and the setting of like how far they have to travel to the palace. Is this looks really cool, and you can see Beast is just downright to business, getting serious about it. Here we have Cheshire Cat. I think he's a pretty cool character. And this is actually an action. Most everyone's a mad here, so it looks like, compared to last set of Archazia's Island, is there were traps set there, and they were actually training on that island. And so here in Reign of Jafar, you can see there's going to be more trials and tribulations that characters have to go through for the story. And it looks like Cheshire Cat is taking up staying in this labyrinth here, where, like in the movie for Alice in Wonderland, he's directing people and maybe not being very truthful, but still, putting in some sort of direction there. So he's looking a little tricky there, but he's also talking about a shortcut, which might not be a good idea to use. But I think this is a really cool art showing what could be inside the palace and what these characters are gonna have to go through in the story. So I think this is cool. Cheshire is a cool cat, and you see him a lot within pop culture today. So he has a reason to be here. This one I'm just super excited about to have a Lilo Scrump costume. I don't even I don't remember if she has done this within her own stories, but I think it's super cool. And just being biased is Stitch is one of my family's favorites, so it's really exciting to see Stitch in what is a Scrump maybe pajama costume or Halloween costume. It's super cute, but also you can see she's either really large or maybe this is the like the strategy board of Jafar's palace, and she is just wreaking havoc, uh, showing what could be done, which is similar to also in this set, which we don't feature in this video, is the big Mickey Mouse, the giant one. So maybe she's pretending to be Mickey Mouse and like this is what you're supposed to do. But this Lilo looks pretty sick, and I'm excited to see it. Here you can see she's a legendary, and just barely her scrump hair and her scrump doll's legs are breaking out of the frame. So I feel like more could have been done here, but this art is still epic nonetheless. I went backwards. Here we got Fred. Big Hero 6 was a super cool movie, and Fred was comedic relief, but also became, a pretty epic character in the movie. And here he gets to still be that in Lorcana. So this is him just in his costume, which I don't even think I brought in the other art, which might be a mistake. You guys know what I'm talking about. It's when he actually becomes the monster and he is just towering and also still blowing fire. But here's it's pretty sick still that he gets a spitfire out of his costume, and it looks like he's doing some major damage here to Jafar's things. So this is pretty epic in my opinion. Here I was really excited to use this background is Cusco as a llama, and I believe this is a super rare rarity. So you can see that he does not get that frame break that the legendaries get, and I think there's still just a lot that is shown here in the artwork, and I think it nicely shows that it's a dual link card with the left side being amethyst colored and the right side switching over to emerald. So he's uh, in between both inks, and it is perfectly described or shown in the artwork, and that's pretty cool. And this is a pretty epic llama. I think Cusco deserved to be on this list for this set. This one was pretty exciting. Is Lena, as she is pure energy, and so with that, it looks like her entire body is made out of energy, and she sort of has this like negative aura about her. And so, with abilities like this, is it's probably pretty cool and pretty overpowered. So I really like the neon colors; it just stood out to me, and I bet this character as a Dreamborn, which means she's been advanced with ink within like special limitations of the ink caster, whoever made her, is that she is this Lena looks super powerful. So I think it's a really cool art using neon colors there. Here, which we talked about earlier, is the Palace Guard, and he is an illusion, which is new to Lorcana. Is these are types of characters that have the vanish ability, and you can see here that he is made out of sand, so that's what makes him the illusion. So there's something here in the story that is making these characters not of ink but of sand, and with that they're sort of fragile where they can be taken out with a lot of things. But I think the sand magic and like streaming of sand is a really cool aspect that is brought in this set, and I think it just adds a really nice effect with artworks that can be done with the flowing sand and stuff like that. So this is pretty cool, and you get to see that giant scarab in the back, which is pretty menacing, and I bet that thing causes some trouble for characters in the story. So this is all around. This is it an uncommon card with the silver rarity on the bottom? It's still a really cool art, I feel like. So it deserved to be here. And here we have the Colonel, Old Sheepdog, which is this Prince Eric's from Little Mermaid? No, that's wrong because I think he's a white dog for Prince Eric. I'll have to double check which one the Colonel is. If someone here can help me, maybe. Um, I don't think it's Lady and the Tramp, but I could be wrong. But Colonel, is that like it's not Dalmatians, is it? Someone will have to direct me in the comments, but this thing just looks so intense and so epic, and it looks like he is just you can see here his lore flavor text is his training was invaluable in infiltrating the palace. So he really set up whoever it was he trained, and it looks like he's leading those people into the palace to take this heist or whatever it is for the story. And he just looks super epic. I just am now realizing and admiring the light that is emanating around him with the darkness of the sky and stuff like that. So I think Mariana here did really good work on this art, and this is super cool for it to be just a super rare. I like this a lot, and I think this is our gonna be our last one here, which is a Rhino. I think there was two Rhino cards this set, and this one just really like shows Rhino's ability here. It looks like his hamster ball is either like infused with some magic here, or that's the magic of that sand snake there that's attacking his hamster ball. But it looks super cool, and it looks like he's doing some serious damage here, either trying to save people or stuff like that. And I like the his character type or whatever, the flavor text under his name, which is 1/16th Wolf, is it's a good nod to the movie that he's got that in his blood. He got that dog in him. And so it's super cool to see this. I enjoyed the Bolt movie and think that he was a funny character who got down to business too. It's all about confidence, no matter what the size you are. So it was cool to see that. Um, Ellie here did a great job on the art, and I think Rhino was captured perfectly in this. So I think that is all of our cards. Um, Let me know if you liked any of these, if you like me just showcasing some artwork, and maybe there is a card in the set that you think deserved to be in this list. You guys can let us know. And let me know in the comments there, and maybe I'll have to go back and do some cards that I missed in either another video or YouTube short for you guys. But thanks for listening, and I hope you guys find this well.